mouth speaks. You're where you're supposed to be.
Suspects Caitlin Nicole Finley and Madison Rose Troy behind bars, accused of helping 22-year-old Jordan Jackson avoid capture after he shot Henry County police officer Paramhans Desai on November 4th in McDonough, fatally wounding the officer. Jackson was tracked down to an apartment in Riverdale Tuesday night. Police say he took his own life. Finley is charged with hindering
resentment over pandemic lockdowns and recent events such as the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. This is the fourth time this year the agency has issued a bulletin, and DHS has said it is working with global and domestic law enforcement and has boosted support to community-based prevention programs. Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum came weeks after the U.S., Britain, and Australia announced a new security alliance in the region that would see Australia build nuclear submarines. China has harshly criticized the deal. Xi is scheduled to participate in an online meeting with other Pacific Rim leaders, including U.S. President Joe Biden, on Saturday.
Dumb slob, you're lucky you don't work for Jeff. See who he'd put you in that grave.
I'd make sukiyaki out of him. And that goes for you, too.
Anybody else? Last call for gripers, and I mean last.
Captain? I consider it my duty to apologize, sir, and request a deck court, Batman.
Forget it, Lieutenant.
Buffer to the first American pilots in England, the 8th Air Force.
That's all we need.
Our submarines checked you very carefully when you flew across from America. 4 groups in place so far. Too bad about the one crew you lost on the way. But we wanted to let you know that a U-boat picked up the crew, and they're quite safe here. We found them quite agreeably talkative, too. But what we want to know, whoever persuaded you to try this incredible idea of daylight bombing? It must have been your friends, the English. They know better than to try it themselves. Losses are a little heavy, aren't they? Let's take the 918th group at Archbury, for instance.
Well, that's us.
The hard luck group. You lost 5 bombers today, didn't you? 5 out of the one group. Let's see. 21 in a group? At that rate, it won't take very long, will it?
So if you think about people live daily, busy lives. Right. It's what are you doing today, what are you doing tomorrow, and so on. It's really a pause. It's a reflection.
A member of the United States Air Force served as today's keynote speaker. The Dunwoody High School Air Force, ROTC, and Chorus also took part in today's moving ceremony.
Should never be said in the same sentence.
U.S. Vets says they can't do this kind of work without your help. For more information about U.S. Vets and to learn how you can help in the fight against veteran homelessness, visit their website at usvets.org. On this Veterans Day, we salute the day. Habitat for Humanity and Lockheed Martin teamed up to surprise a family with a brand new home in Austell. Wilbert Sherrod says up until now he's been living with his sister. Well, now Sherrod and his son have a place to call their own, and they say they're overwhelmed with the support from the community. He served in the U.S. Army in the 80s.
Observances of
The Rolling Stones are performing in Atlanta tonight. The iconic rock band hits the stage for their No Filter tour at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But Mick Jagger decided to do a little tour of his own around Metro Atlanta. He stopped at the Claremont Lounge and the 17th Street Bridge and a few other locations. He tweeted out, "Seeing the sights of Atlanta. See you at the show." Tonight's concert starts at 7:30.
Was taken back on October the 22nd at the church on Nelson Brogdon Boulevard. Police say that he made off with several musical instruments. If you happen to know who this person is, you are asked to call police.
The Rolling Stones are getting ready to
Blaze Barnett inside her van. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Courtney Bryant. Little Blaze disappeared early yesterday morning when a car thief took off with the SUV that Blaze was sleeping in. A woman found him around 2:30 this afternoon, less than a mile away. He was inside her van in the driveway of her Clarkston home.
Fox 5's Brian Hill talked to that woman, but we begin our team coverage tonight with Patty Pan, who has more on how Blaze...
The heart, the mouth speaks. You're where you're supposed to be.
Suspects Caitlin Nicole Finley and Madison Rose Troy behind bars, accused of helping 22-year-old Jordan Jackson avoid capture after he shot Henry County police officer Param Hans Desai on November 4th in McDonough, fatally wounding the officer. Jackson was tracked down to an apartment in Riverdale Tuesday night. Police say he took his own life. Finley is charged with hindering.
Fox 5's Doug Evans visited one of them.
We're at Thompson's Pharmacy in Noonan, one of the approved sites for the Regeneron monoclonal antibody therapy for COVID patients. Up to now, it's only been given at hospitals.
That'd be within 10 days of the first onset of symptoms. Then they have to be 12 or older, and then have to have a prescription from their doctor.
Regeneron is given in 4 shots. It's given in both arms and either both legs or in the abdomen. Sharon Schultz and her husband both came down with COVID and got the antibody therapy at Thompson's. She says they were really sick with symptoms that eventually might have put them in the hospital.
By the next day around noon, I started feeling different, as in better. A loss of symptoms, just in general feeling better. By the next day, it was significantly better. And by the end of the week, I was back to a normal routine.
The role of this protein is to detect this abnormal foreign protein, neutralize it, and helps your immune system to clear it.
Dr. Mayor Patel is with Piedmont Noonan Hospital. He says Regeneron, given at pharmacies like Thompson's, can help keep people out of the hospitals and increase their chances for a better outcome, freeing up staff and bed space for much sicker patients as well. Thompson says it has successfully treated over 100 patients so far with Regeneron, with no serious side effects.
So far, all of our patients have responded very well. Usually by the end of the 48th hour, the second day, patients start to turn that corner and start to feel a lot better.
Dr. Patel stresses that the first line of defense is still the vaccination.
Please, I would encourage take vaccine because prevention is better than cure.
Make sure you talk with your family doctor to see if this type of therapy is right for you. In Noonan, Doug Evans, Fox 5 News.